What's going on, everybody? This is Dave, and this is Shoegaze Promotions. I'm here with Svetli from Mothmankiller, Sofia, Bulgaria. How's it going, Svetli?
Not too bad, thank you. I like that AI voice of Zoom.
Me too. It's pretty cool. So let's dive right into it.
Yeah.
So when and how do you guys form?
It was actually never meant to be a band project, as I would suppose most of the bands, to be fair. But it was COVID. The as we were speaking, it was COVID, and I didn't have much bands to produce and to record and to create my portfolio, and I was tripping balls. So I was like, man, I might as well just record my own music. So I started by recording some of my tracks. Then a year and a half after I released those tracks, I came back to Bulgaria because I was in the UK at the time. And once I came back to Bulgaria, everyone was like, "Now you're gonna make a band, right?" No, of course not. And then this is how we formed. I probably chatted with the bassist for about 2.5 months, 3 months, just being like, "Oh, when are we gonna meet? When are we gonna meet?" Then we eventually met. He was like, "Can I bring my homie with me?" And that homie was the drummer. And yeah, that's how it happened. So pretty natural, I would say. And yeah,
Short,
2021,
simple, right to the point.
2022. Yeah,
Love it. So in October, you released a new album, Prison 42 slash Tape 21. How's the response been to it?
he's being great. He's being great, really. The die-hard fans that we managed to actually create for the last few years, they're loving it. They all agree on our statement that it is better than anything else that we've released so far. Uh, it's a bit weird because there are a few songs that obviously became fan favorites, but none of the songs from the new album actually topped our blow up song, which we released 2 years ago now. And it didn't have too good production. It probably wasn't too well written either, in my opinion. But then none of the new songs actually topped that previous one. But still, having consistency and having good production is still better than just dropping the quality and just dropping the level. We actually went quite well with the videos because the visual aspect was something that we were kind of struggling with. But now my girlfriend actually was like, you know what? I've been because what she's doing, she's actually writing scripts, but she was like, I will try to direct this one. You just need to find me a good team and a guy who knows how to shoot and edit videos and that you trust. So yeah, for the Bulgarian standard, I feel like we did pretty well with the videos, thanks to these guys actually. But yeah,
It's awesome. So who did you record it with, and how was the process?
well, it was very DIY, and I'm very happy with the process actually. Because what we did was we actually went to our rehearsal room. We're renting a place, monthly, just using it with a few more kind of cool bands from the Bulgarian local scene. Uh, and what we did was we bought an 8-channel audio interface. Then we combined all of the microphones that we could find in that rehearsal space, plus the ones that we had and stuff like that. And then we were like, okay, we're not going to be programming the drums. We're not going to be DIing the guitars. We're just straight up today. We start early in the morning with drums. Then we go to bass. Then we go to guitars directly from the amp with all of the reverb and the delay, from the pedal board and not from post production. And then in the end of the day, we're going for vocals. In between, we obviously had some. I think it was what do you call it? A cello. We had some cellos and stuff like that. But then it was basically one day, one song. We record it. We don't care about thinking about what the sound will be in post production. Whatever we've done today, this is what we do it. If we fucked up something, we cannot fix it. That's it. But it's great because it's more authentic. Our gear was awful. Probably the best thing out of our gear was my Gibson guitar, but not the amp. So that actually fucks up the guitar. But it was like we made the most out of everything in the gear, and it felt great. The guy who recorded and mixed and mastered it was a single person, just him on the whole mixing, editing, and stuff like that. I was the producer. I was like, okay, now we need this, so we need to do that. But he was the technical guy who actually did magic.
You can do everything. You're a jack of all trades.
Yeah, well, yeah, master of none, but jack of many.
That's really really cool, dude. So
Thank
what would you
you.
say your favorite and least favorite thing is about the writing and recording process?
Well, if I have to be honest, like 100% honest, I might just say something that probably most bands who have released music would say. And my least favorite was working with bandmates, but that was also my most favorite. So, you know, it was probably my most favorite thing was like when we finally heard, because the hard work isn't necessarily putting 100%, 110% out of you. Hard work sometimes is just dealing with the stress, just dealing with the band issues, dealing with different opinions, stuff like that. It's people being late, people not performing, you not performing, yourself, stuff like that. That's the hard work, and not so much, the the endless nights that you've put writing the music or producing it. But my most favorite was when we actually finally got the first mixes, and then the last masters. We just made an evaluation. We were like, man, we used probably the most DIY gear. The drums were some entry level teenager drums, like the drum kit. Guitar was like a 10-inch speaker, not like the Marshall, the big 420, 412, sorry. And then in the end of the day, we're like, we created something that doesn't sound like anything else we've heard in our local music scene. And it still sounds good. And, even if you're not listening to that genre, it will sound pleasable to you. So that evaluation probably was my favorite thing because, yeah, we didn't follow any rules, any norms in terms of how we should be sounding. And yeah,
Sure, it was a big weight off your chest.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. So you're from Sofia, Bulgaria. How's the shoegaze scene there? Do you have a favorite local band, a favorite venue?
Yeah, uh, the music scene has been growing up now. The shoegaze music scene is good. People are starting to, obviously, more of the teenagers and younglings, as I would like to say them, which are soon to be adults. They're actually, how do you call it? They're they're starting to lean towards slightly more authentic music, and they're bands. There are some bands now that they're creating shoegaze, post punk, and stuff like that, or authentic indie rock, which are all of those genres, in my opinion, are kind of in the same cup of bands. Uh, so there's some bands. The only issue is that it is a bit hard for people to find them. I don't know why, considering that it's a small country. So technically, everyone should be knowing, everything that happens, which is something that they like. So if you like shoegaze, you should know about this new shoegaze band. But then somehow I don't know how, but it just this thing doesn't work yet. Probably the promotion is still not to the right level. So if a band blows up, yeah. But then if your band is something that so if you're in Bulgaria and if my band is something that you like to listen to, probably we've either fucked up the promotion bit or somehow it just hasn't reached you. And then you might discover me like in 6 months and be like, how the fuck did I miss this out? So yeah, the promotion is probably the bit that is kind of not too good yet. The venues are cool. Most of them have all right sound. There's one specific that I like the most, which is called Mixtape 5. It's literally in the heart of the city center in Sofia. Because every time you need just to know that the sound is good, this is where you go. Um, Obviously, once you're out of Sofia, as we spoke earlier, once you're out of Sofia, there's actually not too many good venues. There's just that local bars. But then, if you're a big band, that shouldn't be really an issue because there's at least 200 or 300 people in that town, depending on how big you are, obviously, that are have been waiting for you whole year long to hear you. So you might be well with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So who would you say your biggest influences are?
Oh, you know, there's a bit of a plot twist in that, in my statement, but now we're going to be having a festival which is not in Sofia, and it's alternative festival, completely contradictory to what I just said, but it just happens to be like that. Where Moby will be playing there, Gorillas, Just Mustard, some probably other great artists. Oh, The Cure as well. Uh, and Me and my girlfriend, we bought the tickets not because of the headliners, but because of the bands that we presumed might be warming up for them. So I've always tend to be slightly more on the underground side, as opposed to, if I'm listening to new metal, I probably wouldn't be listening to Korn. I'd be listening to Deftones, which now are not underground, but they're not slightly more underground compared to Korn, or Narrowhead, as we spoke, and stuff like that. If I'd be listening to indie rock, I'd probably be listening to Fontaines DC as opposed to Arctic Monkeys or some British bands with 100 monthly listeners and stuff like that. But if I have to say about biggest influences, when this project started, most definitely it was Alice in Chains and Deftones. A bit of Sonic Youth, a bit of Slowdive and stuff like that. My Ticket Home, I don't know if you've heard of them. They have been a great influence on me as well. But the more I naturally grew up as a person, the more I actually turned to, I don't know, probably just British music, just contemporary British music, pop, indie rock, and stuff like that, which you can't really hear it in the music. But if you think about it, there's something poppy in every better better rock product. I don't know if that makes sense. To me, it makes, because this is how I explain it to myself. If there's a hook, if there's something like that, if there's a way that the artists have written something that is kind of more poppy, more catchy, then it's a bit pop. And then if you only stick to it to, creating hardcore music, let's say, for the sake of not creating catchy and hooky music, but more like people who kill each other on the pogos and mosh pits, then you probably might not going to be reaching as much audience as you'd be if there's a pop element to it. So yeah, Deftones, Sonic Youth, Foster the People as well, Moby, Gautier, that guy, somebody I used to know guy, even him, Joywave, another great band, and yeah.
So here's the $1 million question for you. If you could tour with one of those bands, who would it be?
Oh, it's you never know what to say, do you? I don't know. Uh, Probably would be Fontaine's DC. Now, if you asked me like a few years ago, I would have said Deftones, but now I would say Fontaine's DC, just because I don't know, they're slightly more trendy, and that might get me somewhere. I don't know.
That would be that's a different answer. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, but they're great.
That's awesome. So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions. It's a good way to meet for me to get to know you as a person. I did this with the other bands. You ready to roll?
Yep,
All right. First one, favorite food.
it's American food. So anything from buffalo wings to burgers, stuff like that, that is not really necessarily healthy. Probably skipping the hot dog part, but yeah, burgers, chicken wings. I don't know, buffalo wings, KFC as well. Not so much recently, but yeah, American is my go-to cheat cold food. Whatever they call it nowadays.
Interesting. If you could be any animal, which one and why?
Uh, how do you call it? I probably would really love to be a lion, but then my girlfriend calls me, what is it called in English? Yeah, damn it. It's the one that from Ice Age, the Sid, you know, Sid,
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
sloth.
Yeah, the sloth, exactly. Oh, because they're kind of chill, they're slow, they're allowed to be slow, they're allowed to be just vibing out there. So yeah, sloth is a good animal.
A sloth would be great because you just, lay around, do nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
But a lion would be really sick too because then you could be king of the jungle and like nobody is gonna want to mess with you.
Yeah, and your wife is doing all the work, and you're just like, come on, give me the food now.
Yeah, either one would be really, really sick.
Yeah.
So if you had $1 million and you could donate it to any charity, which one?
Ooh. Hmm. That's a tough one. It I don't know, it probably might be anything that is really war related. I mean, not obviously giving to the side that is starting the war, but anything now Ukraine related. Uh yeah, Gaza, Israel, all of that. Probably war, just because to stop it, because there's so many things that needs to be fixed. But I feel like war is something that you cannot live through this. You just everyday people dying, and yeah, that's what I would say.
For sure.
Yeah,
All right, last question. What are some places in Sofia, Bulgaria that visitors should check out?
food is great around here. To be fair, uh, probably my nation is going to hate me for that, but I really love a restaurant that is called Happy. That's weird, and it's a great restaurant. The whole city center, just spending a day going through it, it might give you the vibe of that old school Sofia that is great and beautiful and everything. And just if you have a car driving through the night, would be great. I don't know. This is what I do whenever I have friends from out of Bulgaria coming over. We just go to restaurants, we go to the city center, and then if they're in the mood for going to a gig, there's always a gig in Sofia every day. Doesn't matter which day it is. There's a gig. There might not be a good gig every day, but you know there should be a cool gig. Mixtape 5 is a great venue, so you'd be able to hear good bands there. Uh, yeah, there's the thing with Sofia is that it doesn't really have a seaside or anything like that. So the only thing to explore really is either the cheap restaurants that serve amazing food, or the city center that still has some ancient leftovers from whatever our corrupted politics haven't sold to different countries.
And when I fly over there to see you, you can take me to all those sick spots.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and chatting up a little bit, and the support means the world to me.
Thank you so much. You're a great guy. Keep on doing this, and we'll hear each other soon too.
Sounds good. So, for the people that are going to watch this interview later, where can they find you guys at?
They'd be able to find it Spotify, YouTube, not iTunes, unfortunately, because DistroKid doesn't distribute music in Bulgarian. But yeah, Spotify and YouTube, Mothmankiller, all together. You'd be able to hear our music. They'd be able to watch our videos, Instagram as well. We've got some funny promos, funny videos that we make clowns out of each other, but no, it's part of the fun. So yeah,
Do what the man says, go to the websites, listen to the music, buy a CD, buy a shirt. You're doing an amazing job. Keep up the sick work, and we'll be in touch.
great. You take care.
Have a great night.
You too.